The ongoing Western-led military action against Libya has sparked debates, concerns, and criticisms in many parts of the world. World News now presents you a range of different voices on the current situation in the North African country, starting with the Russian foreign minister.
We believe that the coalition's interference into Libya's internal conflict has not been sanctioned by the UN resolution. Protection of the civilian population remains our priority. China is concerned with the current situation in the Middle East. China respects the will of the people in the region and sticks to the principle of non-interference into other countries' internal affairs. The Palestinian cause shouldn't be neglected and abandoned, despite the new changes in the region attracting the world's focus.
In terms of the duration of the operation, obviously, I think everybody is hoping that this operation will be as short as possible. It's clear to everyone that there is no purely military solution.
The British media will not give the actual arguments against war, the reasons why this is absolutely crazy and stupid, what we are doing at the moment, saying we can do it and we can stop. This is a cheap way of running a war, no boots on the ground, and a very cowardly way of running a war. We have no right to be there. It's not our interest.
The coalition forces first enforced the UN-authorised no-fly zone over Libya, but then expanded their strikes. And now the command of the military operation is transferred to NATO. The West-led coalition is quick in carrying out military actions, which have gone beyond the UN resolution. There is a grave danger that the intervention might end up in dividing Libya, which might see a long period of conflicts similar to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Nobody likes instability at his doorstep. Yet in some cases the stability was more fragile and precarious than it looked to be, and we should have been more conscious of the possible consequences of authoritarian forms of government and of corruption in the ruling elite circles.
Obviously, people in the region, and especially people in Iran, are very much opposed to the American attacks. Western countries, in fact, were working very closely with Gaddafi and his regime before this internal strife. For the Iranians, Gaddafi is an evil person. The Libyan regime is not legitimate, but that does not give Western countries the right to bomb any country, and especially Libya in this case. So the only way forward is to help the people of Libya resist the oppression of Gaddafi, but Western countries have created many tragedies in this region over the past decade.
They viewed the uprising in Libya with a lot of glee, in the sense that this was one person whom they have always not had a cordial relationship with. If you remember, even the Pan Am airline bombing, Libya was accused of being a conspirator, the Libyan government. And therefore, to this extent, they saw an opportunity in which they could help hasten, remove in power somebody whom they feel is not abiding by rules which have been brought by the West. And therefore, you find that their feeling is that external intervention is the only way to ensure that the insurgents, the internal insurgents, succeed.
The United Nations resolution dictates that there should be some kind of no-fly zone, and there should be some kind of protection of civilians on the ground. But what that is actually going to mean in military operational terms is far from unclear. And what the no-fly zone, which is a no-fly zone plus, which include bombing Gaddafi's tanks, for instance, if that is going to go on for a while, it would be increasingly clear that the only thing they can do is to stop Gaddafi's forces from entering into the eastern areas, they cannot in and of themselves deliver a military victory on the ground for the rebels. So I don't think it's something anyone would like to do, but a ground option might be something which they will have to consider in order to end this, and ending it might be the difficult part.
I think the military intervention is a mistake. You can't interfere into another country's internal affairs, even if there's an uprising there. It's up to the Libyans to decide the future of their country. I don't think the intervention is for the benefit of the Libyans. It's only in the interest of the Western-led coalition forces.